It'll be that, boss.
And clicking live. Shut your fucking mouth. We are officially live. Yo, what's up? Happy Tuesday to everybody. And it is a happy Tuesday because last night was dope. Last night was fucking dope. NBA, holy shit. Rocked it. Went 4-1 plus 2 units. And that plus 1194 SGP hit. That was awesome. And then baseball, despite losing the bet of the day, Washington first 5 money line was the bet of the day. Despite losing that, we still finished in the green. So nothing but thumbs up here. Let's keep that positivity. Let's keep that positive energy rolling into tonight. A lot of games on the board. I think there's 15. Or is it 14 or 15?
There's 15, sir.
15. So there's 15 games. That being said, not exactly loaded with value.
Yeah, agreed.
Also, we disagree on a couple. There's a couple plays that he's going to give you that I think are a little too risky, and vice versa. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, someone just commented, so we're definitely live.
Word.
First game. Oh, the first game is Pirates at Rays. This game is just weird. First of all, the line, if you see in the graphic on the left, there's no line there. That's because when I made the graphics last night at like 2 a.m, the line still wasn't open. And then the Tampa pitcher switched twice. First it was I forget who it was first. So it was someone else. Then when I went last night, it had switched to Guerra. So it looks like probably a bullpen day for Tampa. But the way that this line has been weird, I'm starting to think that not even the sportsbooks knows, like 100% know what's going on in this game. So I'm skipping it, and I think he feels the same way.
I mean, this is just a huge pass. I could see Roansy's slider getting really hit well here. Tampa's been rocking sliders all year, amongst the top 3 in most categories. So I would just rather pass.
Yep, 2 passes there. Tuesday is my day, says Houston Martin, and I sure hope you are right, sir. Yeah, right? Like, I'm down. Tuesday can be my day. All right, let's move on. Atlanta at Miami. See, I like this one. You might have seen this one. I put it on YouTube last night. Prop Beaver is skeptical. We've a little bit of value last night when I put this up. It was plus 115. It's dropped to plus 1. Did it freeze? Oh, we're back. Looks like it froze for a second. So yeah, like I said, last night on YouTube when I put this up, it was plus 115. It's since dropped to plus 105. I still like it. I do acknowledge that it's a bit on the square side. Backing Sandy Alcantara in the first 5 isn't exactly sharp. I wrote Marlins at Braves here. It's Braves at Marlins. My notes are wrong. But basically, simple analysis here. The Braves coming off arguably the most important day of their season. A back-to-back doubleheader Sunday against the Mets. Immediately have to hop on a flight, fly down to Miami to play another division series against arguably the best pitcher in baseball. He certainly was the best pitcher in baseball last year. And I know the Braves just saw this guy less than a week ago, but the Braves have seen this guy a bunch of times. It's not like, oh, they've discovered Sandy. People see Sandy all the time. They still don't figure him out. And in his last start against the Braves, which, like I said, was about 6 days ago, when he left the game in the bottom of the 6th with 2 outs, it was 4-1 Miami. The bullpen blew that game, which is why I'm sticking to the first 5 here. Super square. Definitely not one of my favorite plays of the night, but I'm just backing Sandy.
Yeah, I'm just not in love with laying a half run through the first 5 with Miami. Still the worst first 5 offense in all of baseball. And while Bryce Elder, I definitely thought was a negative regression candidate based on his first handful of starts, and he finally got hit up against Miami, just not a lineup I trust whatsoever to be laying a run through the first 5. On top of that, Atlanta is one of the best first 5 teams in the MLB right now. I actually think they're the best first 5 team on the run line. So that just doesn't sound all that appealing to me. Yes, Sandy's a god. Yes, Sandy's a beast. But I mean,
but you're not thinking about the Braves, the doubleheader, bro. The doubleheader.
Considering that, but even at the end of that Sandy start against the Braves last week, he didn't look all that good. Like, the reason that there were so many men on base and a guy scored is because
he looked fine. He left the game. It was 4-1, and they were winning in Atlanta. He looked fine.
All I have to say is that Sandy does not look like the same guy that he was last year, and I don't feel comfortable betting him.
All right, are you going to come on the show and apologize when Sandy throws like 21 straight scoreless innings?
I would love to see that. I can't wait till he throws 5 scoreless and the Marlins don't score a goddamn
All right, next game. All right, so in this one we got Mets at Tigers. You already heard the pick for this one. I'm actually going to let Prop Beaver, explain it to you though, because this is his pick. I firmly agree that it's a great start to fade the Mets. Take it away.
Yeah, so Kyle was mentioning doubleheader with Atlanta.
Apparently, it's a factor with the Mets, but it's not a factor.
I don't think Miami's that good. I don't think it's worth backing them there at that price. So that's just as simply put as it gets. The Tigers though, Tigers are horrible, but guess what? They're starting to show me some fight lately, and I think it's a nice spot for the Mets. Are not only coming off the doubleheader, but as Kyle was saying, a huge series against the Atlanta Braves. And unlike Atlanta, a lot of the arms out of their pen got some heavy usage yesterday. Now they got to travel to Detroit to face a slowly Tigers lineup. I mean, they should smoke them, right? Well, hold the hell on, because the Tigers will be at home against a lefty, best spot from 2022. Last four against them own a 5.89 ERA and a 1.69 WHIP. Lucchesi relies on that curve quite a bit. It's his third pitch, but he uses it to get out guys. But the Tigers have been doing well against his pitch mix thus far. 333 average and 377 WOBA, fifth and eighth best in the league against those three pitches that he uses. And I can see Detroit getting some runs up early, adding fast and exhausted Mets bullpen, and I think they could score. Other side, listen, Lorenzen, he's inconsistent. He's very, very inconsistent. He got rocked in his first start, excellent in his second start, horrible in his third start. Well, based on that banner, I think he has a good start here. And another thing that leads me to a better start here from him is that he was significantly better at home in 2022 with an impressive 2.77 ERA and 2.76 WOBA. He faced the Mets last year at home and went 6.1 innings, allowing just one run. A lot of that lineup remains intact, and they don't have the best history against him. Add in that top five bullpen for Detroit that's rolling as of late, and it's just like, at the plus price, I know the Detroit Tigers are ugly, but I got to go with them here.
Oh, by the way, I think I might have just fixed. They're saying your volume was. I fixed it when they said that. I muted my mic, so you're good. So when you start talking, I'll mute it.
Okay.
All right. Next game, Cleveland at the Yankees. This one is just. This is what I'm typing. Typing Cleveland or pass here. So line movement is definitely indicating I should be on the Guardians here. Line's dropped. It's actually now down to, I saw Cleveland at plus 135 now in Yankee Stadium, with the Yankees having lost 4 straight. So the Yankees coming off 4 straight losses at home with their ace on the mound, Garrett Cole, who's been excellent. And the line is still dropping. It's just, I can't back the Yankees at this expensive price. I mean, I'm not laying minus 160 with the Yankees, who are just flat out not hitting. They've scored 6 total runs in their last 4 games. Until they show you something else, I can't get there with the Yankees. That being said, I'm not going to be the psychopath who backs Tyler Beebe in Yankee Stadium when the Yankees have lost 4 straight. Like, they're so due for a win. Yankees bats have been so bad, but is any of us going to be surprised if Tyler Beebe comes out in Yankee Stadium and gets fucking rocked? Of course not. So I'm just, I wouldn't take the Yankees. But I'm not going to bet the game.
Yeah, I mean, personally here, I just think this is a pass. If I was getting Cleveland plus 1.5 at like minus 120, I think that would be my move here. But we're not. We're getting that at like minus 145. And as bad as the Yankees bats have been, I mean, Domingo Germán pitched 8.1 shutout innings yesterday. Let's not forget that. He only allowed 2 hits. So he looks pretty untouchable. The Cleveland bats haven't been great lately. Overall, I mean, it's really, I guess, an under or a pass. Just a pass. Not too high in this game.
I thought about the under as well, but yeah, I'm with you on a pass. Cubs at Nationals. All right, so we're actually on the same page here, but you like it a lot more. See, mine, I wrote down this. I wrote down first 5 under 4.5 lean. So mine's just lean. He really likes it, so I'm going to let him explain it. And I agree with his reasoning. I just don't like it quite as much as he does. So go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're just getting way too high total with these lineups, despite not the best arms on the mound for either side. I mean, Wesneski may not be off to the greatest start thus far, but he's looked pretty damn great his last 2 or 3 starts, allowing just 1 run in those 2. His rough start came against the Dodgers lineup that's quite potent against righties, so I'm not going to fault him there. With the exception of lighting up Oviedo and Lopez, the Nats lineup has been quiet all year against righties. Even over the last 2 weeks where they're better, they're still just 22nd in WRC plus and 23rd in OPS against them. On the other side is Trevor Williams, who I liked quite a bit as a Met last year, and he was looking really good. this season before getting smashed by the Mets last start. I think he's in a decent spot to bounce back as the Cubs bats are sneakily slowing down against righties. Listen to this. Over the last 10 days against righties through the first 5, Cubs are sitting 25th in WRC plus, 24th in OPS. At the low vig, I like the under here. The weather conditions aren't great either. I like betting unders in Washington. So yeah, let's roll with it.
I have that written down as well. I had in my notes I had Cubs lineup is all the way down to 21st in WOBA against right-handed pitching in the last 7 days. So that's the angle I like as well. I like Trevor Williams at home against a all of a sudden sneaky slumping Cubs lineup that maybe the public hasn't caught on to yet. That being said, I guess Toast likes Wesneski. The reason I only put a lean next to it is taking a first 5 under a low number like 4.5. Well, it's not low, it's pretty average. With Wesneski on the mound scares me on the road. So yeah, it's just a lean for me. Big trust. Next game, Minnesota at Chicago. All right, so I got White Sox or pass. I won't bet the Rays. I won't bet the Twins. They were just playing the Rays. So White Sox are pass here, and trust me, like I wanted to get there. I wanted to pull the trigger and put the White Sox money line on the ticket. I couldn't. It's just crazy to consider it because obviously Joe Ryan against Michael Kopech is just crazy. I mean, you're talking about one of the best. I mean, maybe not one of the best. You're talking about like a top 20 starting pitcher in Major League Baseball this season against. You can make a strong argument. This has been the worst starting pitcher in baseball, Michael Kopech, so far. White Sox bullpen, also a tragedy. 29th out of 30. Only the Oakland Athletics bullpen has been worse than the White Sox over the last 2 weeks. There's really no reason to bet the White Sox other than Kopech has solid career numbers against this Twins lineup. And I just think he's due for finally putting together a good start. And I always like fading the Twins. I'm not a big fan of this Twins team. So I won't bet the Twins at this crazy price. But I'm not going to bet the White Sox either. I'm not that crazy.
Yeah, I mean, my spidey senses are telling me the White Sox can pull out the W here today. But my brain is telling me, please, for the love of God, don't bet the White Sox today. So I'm not going to bet the White Sox today. I have a soul. I have morality. I mean, one thing I will say about the White Sox is that, like, when you're on a 10 or 11 game losing streak like that and you finally win, that could kind of break the bubble and at least put forward a stretch of games where they're winning at 500 rate. I mean, we'll see about that. I'm not going to do it today. I hate Kopech, but we'll see.
Yeah, I agree. All right, next. Oh, whoops. Blue Jays at Red Sox. You guys already know how I feel about this one. I put it on YouTube. Toronto all the way. It's up to minus 135 on some books. You could still get it at minus 130. That price sucks. But Toronto all the way. And I mean, I'll repeat some of the notes I went through on YouTube, but Kikuchi's been good. Despite whatever you have in your head, he's been good. Talk about 3 solid starts in a row. He beat Tampa, who's been crushing lefties. Toronto's 5-0 in Kikuchi's 5 starts. They haven't lost a game. Every time this dude takes the mound, Toronto wins. You got the Red Sox coming off a heartbreaking loss last night, a freaking walk-off homer to Verdugo. We turned it on. We were like, hey, why don't we watch the 9th inning? We turned it on. Yeah, we turned it on, and 2 seconds later, Verdugo hit it. Like, we turned that game on for 7 seconds and saw the walk-off homer. And here's the icing on the cake, though, and that's the exact phrasing I used last night. Icing on the cake. Kikuchi has been completely dominant against this Boston Red Sox lineup in his career. Ready? This current Boston Red Sox lineup has 40 career at-bats against Kikuchi. 40. Just 6 hits. One of them's a double. That's the only extra base hit. So they're batting 150 lifetime against Kikuchi with just 1 extra base hit. Boston has also gone cold against lefties. They're all falling back to 22nd in the last 2 weeks. All over Toronto. I like how I obviously I don't like how the line moved, but I like it in a sense that it confirms that I feel like I'm on the right side here. I really think Toronto avenges their loss last night and takes care of business.
Yeah, I mean, don't let me, don't let that last game fool you. The Toronto Blue Jays own the Red Sox. Listen to this. Going back to last year, The Blue Jays, even after that loss, have now won their last 16 of 19 games against the Boston Red Sox. They flat out own this team. I remember last year that if you just bet the Blue Jays against the Sox, you were making money every single time. And I don't really think there's a reason to go away from that here. The Boston lineup, as we were saying, they started off the season very hot against lefties, but I knew that without Adam Duvall, that lineup was going to get some negative regression, and it looks like it's hit over the last 6 games. It's not been nearly as productive against lefties as of late. Tanner Houck has been pretty decent this season. I'm not going to bash the kid. I think he's been pretty solid. But with that being said, Blue Jays bats are just so much better against righties than Boston is against lefties. And I also trust the Blue Jays pen far more than I do the Boston pen. We've seen the Boston pen put the Red Sox in jeopardy with their leads almost on a regular basis. So I like the Jays here quite a bit.
Yeah, we were both in unison on that one. As soon as we looked at that one last night, like took 5 minutes before we were like, oh shit, Toronto, without a doubt. Next game I think is Baltimore KC. Let me pull up the graphics. Yep, it is Baltimore KC.
Another Twins game where it's like the single most public bet.
I wrote down in my notes that the Twins was the most public bet of the day, and then I scrolled 2 bets down and I was like, oh shit, no it's not. Everybody you've ever met in your life is betting the Baltimore Orioles. I'm talking about people you know that don't even bet on sports. They've downloaded the app and they're betting on Baltimore here. So I won't do it. That being said, I don't know how to make a case for Kansas City. So I guess I'll write Baltimore or pass, but I would lean towards pass because it's so public. It's so square. Everyone's betting the Orioles. I promise you the sportsbooks aren't trying to give away free money. So if you are on the O's, I would say proceed with caution.
Yeah, I mean, if this was the most public player on the board, I would love it. I love Tyler Wells, huge Tyler Wells guy. He's great in night starts, specifically going back to last season. So this is his spot. He's better on the road at night. But I don't know, that price, man. I mean, I know that they've been laying these bullshit prices with Casey regularly, and Casey continues to suck, but I just think here is a pass. I don't know. Maybe they have an angle I'm not seeing. Really frustrating because I would love to bet the Orioles through the first 5.
Well, the line's been moving, so it's not like they're responding to the action. But even after the line movement, it's like
I can't be riding with 99% of the public.
No way. If like the most casual non-baseball fan can look at the game and be like, "Oh, we should bet Baltimore," we probably shouldn't be on Baltimore.
Yeah.
All right. Angels, Cardinals is next, and
we got robbed.
We did get robbed here. We got priced right out of this pick. So it was, if you remember, if you watched last night's YouTube video, I put up first 5 over 4.5 at -110. Unfortunately, it's now at 5 and still -110. So it's not like we're even getting a better price.
Bullshit.
We got priced right out of this. I'll still give it out. Brief reasoning. You've already heard this though if you watched last night. Lefty-lefty matchup with 2 lineups that hit lefties well. Sandoval in his last 3 starts, 10 runs in 17 2/3 innings. Not pitching his best, not playing his best baseball right now. He's failed to reach 5 innings in 2 of his last 3 starts. And that was against the Yankees and Red Sox, 2 teams that aren't even really hitting lefties like that. And then on the other side, Steven Matz. Steven Matz looks as bad as it gets. And against the Angels lineup, who, maybe have cooled off a little bit against lefties, but earlier in the season, this was the hottest lineup in Major League Baseball against lefties. So I expect to see some runs. I still like it at 5, but 5 is such a common number for the first 5 total that moving it from 4.5 to 5 is definitely a big difference. So definitely lost some value. I'll still take it. It's just I don't love it.
Yeah, I mean, just moving from the half run there to the full Sox in terms of a total. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't actually put money on this. If it was plus like 100, maybe, but like the books are really some assholes for moving it and not even giving us a plus price at 5. I mean, Jesus. So that's a pass, yeah.
No Ohtani, says Toast.
I mean, Ohtani isn't the best against lefties, so
he's also a fraud of a player, so.
All right. That could factor into that decision today. I actually sat him on purpose.
I'm sorry, I was muted. So let me say that again. So I'm going to let Prop Beaver talk on this one. I kind of disagree with this pick a little bit. I think it's a little too square. But his reasoning is decent. So I'm going to let him sell it to you. It's on the ticket. I thought the logic was sound on it. So I was like, let's do it. But I think he might lose this one. Go ahead.
How the fuck am I supposed to get my bet with that bullshit ass speech before?
I'm just keeping it real.
I don't believe in this bet at all. I should do that for half of your dog shit bet.
And then you'll look like a clown when they win.
All right. The Snakes coming off a road trip in Colorado. While normally that is a fade spot for most teams, I like the angle a bit with Arizona through the first 5. I mean, I don't really understand why the Sharps were hammering the Rangers overnight. I thought that was I don't get it. Maybe I'm not seeing something, but it did that. The line keeps growing on Arizona. Definitely like that. Gallen's looking godly right now through his last 27 innings. Has he faced the highest level of competition? No, but he's shook off that really rough start, and he's just dominated. And another spot that I like is that he's dominated lefties through 66 at bats against lefties. They own a 154 WOBA against the guy and a 38 K to BB percentage. I mean, that's just like the stupidest shit I've ever heard. That is godly numbers for Mr. Gallen, and it's a nightmare for a Texas lineup to start 6 lefties. We've recently seen guys like Brito and Ashcraft pitch extremely well lately against Texas. And what do the 3 guys I named have in common? They're excellent against left-handed batters. The other side is John Gray, who's in the exact opposite boat. The guy sucks against lefties. 413 WOBA, 2.38 home run per 9. Listen to this, a negative 7.3 K to BB percentage. Yes, he is walking guys at a 7.3% higher rate than striking them out, and he's got an 8.42 FIP against lefties. That could not get more heinous. Arizona starts 6 on an everyday basis, and the first 3 batters of their order are lefties. Last 5 starts against the Diamondbacks, how has Mr. John Gray done? Well, he's posting a 7.24 ERA, and Arizona was 4-1 to the first 5 run line. Like Arizona to keep turning.
I get it. The reasoning is sound. Okay, why is everyone betting Texas then? It just doesn't make sense. This whole thing, it stinks. This whole thing stinks. Next game. All right. Let's get your pick off the screen here. Giants at Astros. Let's see. Where's my notes for this one? I wrote notes for this one too. Oh, you know what? No, I didn't. Because remember we were talking about Hunter Brown? And we were like, we want to back him, but they're crazy expensive. Yeah, so I want to back Houston. I hate the price, though. Super expensive. So I'll say Houston or pass. Maybe Houston money line as a parlay piece, even though I probably shouldn't be advertising those kind of bets. But I like Hunter Brown a lot. It's just the Giants are sneaky good against lefties. Against righties. I'm sorry. At least they were earlier in the season. And I just we're talking minus 200. I don't like it enough. Also, Prop Beaver likes this Sclafani or whatever the hell you say his name. I don't like him as much as he does, but just too many scary things about him. If I'm taking a minus 200 favorite, if I'm laying the 1.5, or if I'm going to bet him on the first 5 run line team total, if I'm going to back that team in some way, that's a minus 200 favorite, I better love them. And that's not how I feel about the Astros here.
Yeah, just a pass. I don't see much value on either side.
Yeah, it sucks because I would love to keep betting on Hunter Brown. He looks good as hell. All right, this stupid templates for one person. Next up, Brewers at Rockies. This is me. This is my pick.
Yeah, it's dog shit. Not gonna win. Fucking terrible.
You like it, bro.
There's all shit. Nice pick, bro.
You like it.
Yeah, I would have put this on the VIP ticket, but Colin made me. Let's just say stupid shit like that before the picks.
All right, so we're getting Brewers against a righty. Obviously, whenever you're getting Milwaukee, whenever you're considering betting the Brewers, you are praying that there's a right-handed starter on the other side, and there is. His name is Ryan Feltner, and you may look at his recent starts and be like, Sauce, are we sure you want to fade this guy? He's been really good. His last 3 starts have been really good. On the road, his last start at home in Coors Field, he got absolutely annihilated by the likes of the Washington Nationals lineup. He's back at Coors for the first time since then. It's a Brewers lineup who, like I said, is always stronger against righties, or at least has been. The last 5 righty starters that have faced the Brewers have struggled. Now, as far as Freddie Peralta. I know that like maybe some of you have lost your faith in Freddie. I haven't. I like him. This is the Rockies lineup. Let's keep in mind. Now, the reason I don't absolutely love this is it's Coors Field and there's always a bit of unpredictability there. So it's not going to be a huge bet. This isn't the bet of the day or anything. But I'm going to lay the 1.5, back Freddie, and more importantly, I'm backing the Brewers lineup against Feltner's bum ass.
I have no pick on this game.
All right, next. Another template switch. Okay. Seattle at Oakland. Oh, this is you. This is you. You know what though? I'm not going to talk shit about your pick on this one because I think it's solid. I do.
Let Mason
It's
Miller
sharp.
cook,
It's
baby.
sharp. All right.
Let Mason Miller
Go ahead.
cook. All right, so we got two Millers on the mound today. We got Mason and Bryce. Bryce, it's plus 100 for the first 5 money line. Bryce is a highly touted pitching prospect for Seattle, and he should be awesome in the league for a long time. But here's the thing about Mr. Bryce. It's hard to ignore the fact that through 4 AA starts this year, he's posting a weak 6.41 ERA, 2.2 home runs per 9, and 280 opposing batting average. And now listen to this. He's skipping AAA. The man hasn't pitched in AAA yet. Now he's going straight to the major league and making his MLB debut on the road against this Oakland Athletics.
That's crazy. That is crazy.
I know the A's bats aren't great, but this is still a major league lineup, and they've been much better lately, sitting 14th in WRC plus against righties over the last week. I think they can get a couple off of here. On the other side is Mason Miller, who's also a highly touted pitching prospect, but he's pitching for the Athletics. The difference in my eyes is that Mason Miller has been battle-tested with bouts against the Cubs and the Angels, and while the results weren't amazing, his command has been excellent, and the K stuff has been sensational. On top of that, his expected numbers were much better. Against the Mariners lineup that's leading the MLB in K percentage by a metric ton over the last week, 35.7%. Next highest is the Mets at 28%. I think that Miller could whiff his way through the lineup, and I think that there's a reason that the money's pinned on Seattle here. The line is getting either shorter or it's staying put on the Athletics. I think the A's have a very strong angle through the first 5. A's up.
Yeah, and I like the price too. Like at just plus 100, Seattle against Oakland. Public's all over Seattle. You would think that this would be a bigger plus money, so I like it. All right, let's move on to the next one. Another template switch. Reds at Padres. You ready for this? You guys might not like this one. So I got 2 picks for this one. I'm riding with the Reds. Now this is super high risk pick. This didn't even make the VIP ticket. I'm personally going to bet it though. But I openly acknowledge that it's high risk. I'll tell you why in 1 second. Let me just get this correct on the screen. Okay. It's tough because the Reds have screwed me a couple times. Anyway. So, Graham Ashcraft is dealing this year. His numbers against left-handed bats, as I've said a couple times on YouTube, are insane. Lefties are batting like 100 against Graham Ashcraft. It's truly nuts. Padres have 4 lefties in their normal starting lineup, and their projected starting lineup tonight has 4 lefties, including Juan Soto and CJ Cronenworth. Nobody on the San Diego lineup has ever gotten a hit off Graham Ashcraft. Nelson Cruz is a career 0 of 3. Juan Soto is a career 0 and 3. The rest of the lineup's never seen him once. So Ashcraft, who's kind of a unique type pitcher, a righty who's really strong against lefties. I mean, that's actually was more unique about 15 years ago than it is now, but still. And then on the other side, you got Michael Wacha, who's off to a terrible start. Now, I got to admit, Wacha has definitely had a bad bit of luck here. His last 4 starts have been Cubs at Arizona, Brewers at Braves. He's definitely been thrown into some tough spots, so I don't think he's nearly as bad as his numbers indicate. In fact, I actually think Michael Wacha might pitch well tonight, which is why I'm also on the under. But then if we turn our gaze over to the bullpen, the Reds bullpen is actually 12th in WOBA over the last 2 weeks. Now, this is the Reds bullpen. That's why I'm saying there's some risk involved here. This is arguably the worst bullpen in baseball last year. So the numbers indicate they're 12th in WOBA over the last 2 weeks. That doesn't mean I'm just going to jump in the boat and fully trust the Reds bullpen. That's why it's not on the VIP ticket. That's why I'm putting about 10 disclaimers in this read off here. I'm saying like, yo, proceed with caution because it is the Reds bullpen. That being said, they're 12th in WOBA the last 2 weeks. Padres bullpen 22nd. In my opinion, Cincinnati has the starting pitching advantage and the bullpen advantage. So hey, at plus 160, let's do it. Let's do it. It's not CJ Cronenworth?
It's Jay Cronenworth.
Is there a CJ Cronenworth?
CJ Crone.
Oh, the guy in the Rockies is CJ Crone.
Yep. Yeah, that. I can't believe you didn't know that one. Yeah, this is a pass. I don't trust Ashcraft at all. At all. Those numbers against righties are fucking horrible. He is going to get rocked eventually. I cannot wait for the day. And honestly, considering everybody and their mother seems to be on the Reds first 5 today, I can see it being today. We'll see.
Wrong. Just simply wrong. You lack vision.
No, I actually see data, and data tells me he's.
Oh, you see data. I see data. All right. He's about to tell you why you should bet the Phillies money here. I don't hate it, so I'll put Phillies or pass. I'm not going to talk shit about the pick because like I completely see why he's there. The Dodgers are so bad against lefties, and he has some number. I can't even believe how bad the Dodgers have been against lefties. So I'm muting myself. Go ahead, sell us on the Phillies.
Dodgers can't hit a lefty to save their life right now. Over the last 2 weeks, they're dead last in WRC plus against lefties. Take out that David Peterson start, who, I mean, let's just talk about it. David Peterson's fucking terrible. And the last 5 lefties to face LA have combined for a 1.13 ERA and a 0.59 whip. They are not even getting guys on the bases against lefties. Strama's looked pretty solid thus far in his first season as a true starter. I know he's been roughed up a few times, but I think he can hold him to 2 or less runs here, considering just about everybody and their mother is. On the other side is Julio Urias, who's flat out looked off thus far. He didn't look great in the World Baseball Classic. And now over his last 3 starts, he's allowed 14 runs, 22 hits, 5 walks, and 6 home runs. The Phillies may not be certified lefty killers, but they've been solid. And Urias, his last 2 home starts against the Phillies, he's posting a 5.4 ERA, allowing 3+ runs through the first 5 both times. So with the Dodgers not even being able to muster up 2 runs against lefties lately, and Urias getting cranked right now, and getting hit up the last 2 times he faced the Phils at home, I can't pass up on the Phils in this plus price.
Hey, I don't hate it. The one guy says, talk shit about that trash ass pick he gave Reds money line. Y'all be humming a different tune when the Reds win 4-3 tonight. Just saying. All right. So
Toast, the Dodgers lineup's been different the last 10 days, but if I make that sample size the full season, they're still 28th against lefties.
In the full season?
Dude, the only person they've hit that's a lefty is Madison Bumgarner and David Peterson.
Jesus Christ.
They're terrible, both pitchers.
Wow. All right. So
Phillies first five. Whoa. First 5 money line, plus 1.
Oh, I thought it was a full game. Okay.
No. Why the hell would I do? No, the Phillies bullpen just got lit the hell up.
And what's the odds on that?
Plus 138.
Okay. All right. Shall we get down on? He's on the Phillies too. He said.
Yeah, I know. So why does this guy even like? What the fuck are you doing? Playing devil's advocate in the comments, bro.
All right. So why don't we get down with the community parlay? You guys know how it works. Start throwing some picks out. Get a sports book open to calculate some odds. Community parlay. Has this hit once since the first one? I don't think it has.
No, I mean, no. It hasn't.
But it's hitting today.
All right. What is it? Let's see, people.
Give them a few seconds for it to load. I'm guessing we're gonna see some Twins money line for sure. I bet we're gonna see
Twins, Orioles. I could actually name it right now. Twins, Orioles.
No. Let's let them. Don't put ideas in their head. I want them to do it on their own. This is a community parlay. Twins. Yep, first one. Twins money line. Orioles money. Yeah, we called that. We called that. Mariners money line? Okay.
I could see that in terms of a full game. That Oakland
Angels plus 1.5.
Like that.
Blues. I think he means Blue Jays. Brewers money line. There we go. Cutting it off there. What are we at there?
Looks like a 5-legger.
Yeah, we'll take a leg off.
Where's the Brewers, bro? There we go. All right.
I play the Rockies in Coors Field.
All right. So now I'm just taking out the hits that I had earlier. Yeah, it's 10-24.
Okay, so why don't we just take out the Angels? That's the only run line in there.
Plus 595.
Perfect. Taking out the Angels plus 595. Community parlay. That's what we're rocking with. I gotta end it though because I'm still waiting on Jimmy Butler and Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle, and I gotta get those NBA SGPs together. Usually I hate and don't condone that kind of betting, but they keep hitting, and that's what everyone's asking for. So I gotta throw some together. So if you're waiting for that, give me about. I'm gonna wait. I won't be later than 5. I'm waiting till 5 o'clock. If I don't have injury information from that by then, I'm just gonna put out the ticket with some asterisks. I hate to do that in the playoffs, but I mean it's out of my hands. There's nothing I can do. Thanks for listening. The stuff will be uploaded tonight at the end of the night, same as it was last night. Everyone have themselves a great night and remember to bet responsibly.